Hi everybody, just doing a quick fitting guide for the FLEXdoûr Quadrant shower tray option. So this one is going to be a single slide and it's going to close up against this side and open to the right as I'm facing. So first of all, what I've done, I've removed an old shower enclosure, which was a glass one, and it's had its time. Because this is a children's ensuite shower room, I wanted to go with the FLEXdoûr because it's a plastic panel, it's safer for children. So it's been pretty simple so far. I've removed the old shower screen, and what I've done is I've started with the side fixing plates. So what I want to do first of all is I've fixed the side where the door's going to open up to. So this is the loading side, and as you can see just down here, one of the flex panels is just going to tuck into there. So I've secured this on. I'm going to put the caps on that's in the kit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to silicone down this side first of all and down there. So what I've done with the Quadrant, so I've had to cut the top and the bottom track down. So this was the bottom track, and as you see there's a flat side and a convex side at the top, so just a smooth side. So that is the top and that's the bottom of the actual track, and it's the same, so the top track and the bottom track. So this is going to go at the top, and so I've been working with the bottom first of all. So what I've done is I've cut some a measurement off one side and the other to try and keep it as equal as possible, and then I've laid it up and tested it, slotted it in, and I'm happy it's gonna fit on the tray. So before I fix this side in, I'm going to insert the actual door. So once I've measured this bottom track up, what I did then is I laid it up against the top track, and then I marked where I'm going to cut so it mirrors the bottom track. So the top track is going to mirror the bottom track with the radius that I require. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this top track so it matches, and then on the top you have these parts, and that will slot into here. It'll slot into there, and then I've got another piece that will slot in, and as you can see the top track then will slide into there and go around, and the door at the top has little runners that slot into this. So what I need to do is cut this first, get this top track on there, and then what I need to do is insert the door so it runs between there, and then I'll just load it up on this side, and then I'm going to work on this pillar then. So I'm going to use some screws, a bit of silicone, and because there's a bit of a gap between the old one, this one is slightly wider, so I'm going to fix it into place, and then I'm just going to fill the gap that's left. Mark that. I'm going to fill the gap that's left with some silicone, but it's going to be nice and tight on this side. So yeah, so I'm happy I've cut the bottom track. I'm going to cut the top track. I'm happy with that radius and the cut. And I'm going to silicone this side before I insert the door, and then yeah, work on this side. Before I lay this track down, what I'm going to do on the underside, I'm going to run a little bead of silicone all the way around so it stops any water from coming underneath, and then once it's fitted I'll probably run some silicone under here, maybe at the front. I'll test it first. I want it looking nice. So yeah, And then in the pack as well, you've got a little grease pack that you pop in between there, helps it run smoothly and what have you. So I'll once I've inserted the door, I'll show you what I've done, and then yeah, great. So I'll show you the next stage in a minute. So I brought the door in, and what I'm going to do, as you can see at the top there, I'm going to insert the track pieces into the track and then secure it up in the top there, and insert into the bottom track, and just keep that side loaded until I fix this end frame into place. And then if you can see this end section here, so there's a little end section there like that, and that will pop into that gap there, so just by there, and that's going to pop into there and hold into place then. So yeah, I'll do that and I'll show you my progress. Okay, so I've introduced the door, I've added it to the top and the bottom track. So that's the handle section, as you can see, and then it will run in the track at the top there. So it just sits inside that lip. And then the same at the bottom, so it runs inside that track system there, and then it's hidden by the bottom track. So what I did is, as I said, I'm going to pop this section in after I've silicone the and sealed in the inside and the outer with silicone, so there's no leaks coming through this side here. And then I can put my caps on that's in the kit. And then on this side, so what I did is I fixed this section on because of the gap, so I used a no nails to hold that in place, and then I fixed my screws through, and then I put my caps on. And then what I did before I fixed that into place, I slotted on my top track and the bottom track, so that went in first, and then I secured this into place then. So all I need to do now is silicone the inside and here, so it's watertight. And then with the end piece, you have something like this. So it's it slots in. 2 seconds, I'll turn it over. So this slots into place here in between the gap, and that creates an inside water seal. So I'm not going to pop it into place yet, but that will pop in and that will hide anything, and the door closes up neatly onto that. So I will show you on one squeeze, just pops in and then the door closes to that. There we go. So once I've siliconed this all in, I will show you what the door looks like and closes. Okay. So I've siliconed all the edging around underneath, and it's all sort of sealed. And then what I'm going to do now is add this end piece just by popping it in all the way down. I'll probably need 2 hands for that. Pop that in all the way down, and then I will show you how the door operates. So I've added the handle, which screws in at the back, and then you have these little pieces that just hide over pop over the screw to hide. So I've connected that back piece in, and then all I need to do is add the grease packs to the track. And then this is the door closing. So I'll see if I can step back. Okay, so as you can see, that's the new shower door. So the track at the top is supported by the pillars on the side and slot in. There is just in there, so I need to pop and add a screw in there and there, but it's quite secure. And then the same for the bottom corners. So I siliconed around, and at the sides there I've added this little piece in, which I showed you earlier. So yeah, this is the door. So it slides up across and around to that side, and then it will fully open across there. So let me just do that again. Okay, so just because I added this section in here, I hadn't fully opened it, so we'll do that again. So it goes all the way around, there we are, and it secures in at the side. So I could have had the handle closing that way and then opening to this side. I wanted full access on this side. So the top track is the same as the bottom track, so it's reversible. So there is an option for a 2-door, so you can have a door there, and it meets and closes and meets in the middle. But I opted for the single option. So yeah, just to recap, so it was really simple. So it was making sure I had the right radius track, tray to the track that I chose on the website. And then what I did was cut off the end pieces equally to find the right radius or the right length. And then whatever the track was at the bottom, I marked it up on the top and cut the top as well. So the bottom track matches the top track. And then I fixed this side on first, slotted the door into the tracks, and then I finished with this piece, slotting the tracks in, and then silicone. And yeah, so left to do now is put these little end caps on, the little screws in at the end, and the caps on the end of the screws there, they slot in. So they pop into there, which is in the kit. So yeah, I'll step back, that is the door. So completely safe, no glass, made in Italy, recycled plastic, and that is enough privacy within the shower room, and it's nice and safe for the kids now. So this is a shot from the inside, looking out. So as you can see, yeah, it's quite private. If you can't see in, you can't see out, but yeah, great option, nice and safe for the kids, and yeah, good job. So what I've done is, after standing inside the shower, I've decided I can remove one panel, as there was enough excess door. So what I did is I pulled that out of the end piece here, and then I removed so from here, so I pulled this end piece out here, and then I pulled this out of this section here, and that removed that one and the middle strut, and that just pulled away. And then I connected this section to this section, and that removed this one panel.